Have you ever known that each morning, more than 32 million Americans over the age of 60 begin their day with heavy, painful steps due to joint pain? What is even more concerning is that most of them have become so used to that feeling that they no longer ask whether there might be a gentler, less painful, and healthier way to live. According to a report from the United States National Institutes of Health, more than 68% of older adults use dietary supplements every day, yet nearly half of them are unaware that their choices may actually be making joint inflammation and degeneration worse over time. But what if there were a simpler way, a path that does not involve medication, that does not cost a lot, that does not require you to completely change your diet, but only asks you to add one light, easy to digest food that science has already shown to reduce inflammation, ease pain, and help restore joint strength each day? In today's journey, you will discover 3 plant-based protein sources with healing potential that are often forgotten in the kitchen, but may hold the key to relieving pain and regaining flexibility in every step. Which country are you living in and how old are you? Please leave a comment below, because this message is made just for you. There is something that few people say openly, and that is arthritis does not come solely from aging, but also from the things you repeat each day without noticing, especially during meals. You may have once thought that inflammation is something bad that must be eliminated with medication, but in truth, inflammation is the body's way of signaling that it needs your care and adjustment to its rhythm. When you get a cut or a sprain, the body immediately sends inflammatory agents to start the healing process. That is a good thing. But the problem arises when the body cannot turn off that inflammatory signal, like a fire alarm with a stuck button that keeps ringing even after the danger is gone. That is chronic inflammation, and it is the root cause of most cases of arthritis in older adults, though no one ever clearly explains it to you. At that point, the cartilage begins to wear down, joint fluid loses its elasticity, knees no longer move smoothly, wrists start to swell slightly after protein-heavy meals. And sometimes you wake up the next morning struggling to hold a teacup without knowing why. But inflammation is not only in the joints, it seeps into the bloodstream, affecting your sleep, memory, and even your mood. A study published in the journal JAMA Psychiatry in 2015 found that people with high inflammation markers in their blood were much more likely to experience treatment-resistant depression compared to others. This means that even medication cannot lift your mood if inflammation is still present in the body. If you have ever felt that the pain in your knees comes with a sense of fatigue, lack of motivation, or a acute sadness, it is not because you are weak. It is because your body is trying to restore balance but has not yet received the right kind of support. And this is where we have an opportunity to stop seeing inflammation as the enemy and instead recognize it as a signal for change. And that change begins with something very familiar, what you eat each day. So what can plant-based protein do to support your joints and reduce inflammation? Let us move forward to understand more. When you think of protein, you might immediately picture eggs, beef, chicken, or milk. These are familiar foods long seen as symbols of strength, but few people know that protein not only feeds your muscles, but also acts as a messenger to your immune system, directly affecting how your body responds to inflammation. What is even more remarkable is that the type of protein you choose will determine whether that message is one of comfort or one of alarm. A study published in the journal Nutrition Research in 2015 compared 2 groups of people. One group consumed a high amount of red meat, while the other consumed mostly plant-based proteins such as beans and soy. The results showed that the group eating plant-based protein had significantly lower levels of CRP in their blood, which is a marker indicating overall inflammation in the body. In contrast, The red meat group had higher levels of TNF alpha and IL-6, two factors directly linked to arthritis. But why is there such a clear difference just based on protein sources? The answer lies in how the body processes different amino acids. Red meat and dairy contain an amino acid called methionine. While it is essential, consuming too much of it without balancing it with B vitamins like folate or B12 can lead the body to produce a compound called homocysteine. This compound can trigger inflammation and negatively affect blood vessels and joints. On the other hand, plant-based proteins such as beans, hemp seeds, and spirulina not only provide protein, but also come with natural anti-inflammatory compounds that help nourish the good bacteria in your gut, creating a healthier internal environment. You may have never thought that a heavy meat-based meal could leave you feeling more achy the next morning, but if you pay close attention, you might notice a common pattern: joint stiffness, mild swelling, or fatigue often follow a heavy meal. And if that happens repeatedly each day, it is not aging that is making you weaker. It is your eating habits sending the wrong signals to your immune system. So which plant-based protein can help you reverse this trend? The first answer comes from a very simple yet often forgotten food: lentils. The first protein is lentils, a humble meal that quietly heals. If there is one food that has long been overlooked for being too ordinary but quietly holds healing power far beyond expectations, it is lentils. This tiny legume has been with humans for thousands of years. Yet few realize that it has the ability to reduce inflammation, restore joints, and nourish the gut naturally and effectively. In 1 cup of cooked lentils, you receive about 18 grams of high-quality plant-based protein, but the value of lentils goes far beyond protein content. More importantly, they also contain a combination of compounds that support the body from the inside out, such as polyphenols, magnesium, iron, soluble fiber, and arginine. These are not just bonus nutrients. They are essential components that help regulate the immune system, reduce inflammatory signals, and support stronger joint tissue each day. A study published in the journal Phytotherapy Research in 2012 showed that polyphenols extracted from lentils significantly reduced inflammation markers such as TNF alpha and IL-1B, two compounds commonly elevated in chronic arthritis. When you eat lentils, these compounds help your body silence misleading signals, like turning off a stuck fire alarm. In addition, lentils contain an amino acid called arginine that helps boost the production of nitric oxide, which improves blood flow and delivers more nutrients to damaged joints. This is like clearing a blocked road so that an ambulance carrying healing nutrients can reach the area in need. Moreover, the soluble fiber in lentils plays a crucial role in nourishing the gut microbiome, something many people overlook when thinking about bone and joint health. A study published in the journal Microorganisms in 2020 found that people who ate a fiber-rich diet with lentils had lower inflammation levels and experienced a noticeable reduction in pain. If you have never tried lentils, start with 3 consecutive days, just 1 meal a day that includes lentils seasoned with ginger or turmeric, and observe whether it becomes easier to get out of bed the next morning. Sometimes the answer is not in a prescription, but in a simple pot of lentil soup on the stove. The second protein is hemp seeds, 1 small spoon. Big change. If there is just one change you make to your breakfast tomorrow morning, the simplest thing you can do is add a small spoonful of hemp seeds. As tiny as they are, they carry a level of nutrition that humbles nearly every other seed. Hemp seeds are not only a complete plant-based protein, but also a powerful source of essential fatty acids and natural anti-inflammatory agents, especially suitable for those dealing with joint issues and chronic pain. The first remarkable fact is that hemp seeds contain all 9 essential amino acids that your body cannot produce on its own. This is extremely important because these amino acids help repair tissues, regenerate cartilage, and gently stabilize the immune system over time. The second important point is the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio in hemp seeds, which is almost perfectly balanced at 3:1. This is something very few natural foods can achieve, while modern diets often contain excessive omega-6 levels that promote inflammation. Hemp seeds restore the necessary balance, like guiding the immune system from a state of irritation back to peace. A study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry in 2014 showed that oil extracted from hemp seeds reduced arthritis, inflammation, lowered oxidative stress, and improved fat metabolism in joint tissue in animal models, offering promising potential for long-term human use. But you do not need to use the oil. Eating the whole seed directly is more than enough. Each morning, just 1 or 2 teaspoons of hemp seeds sprinkled over oatmeal, blended into a smoothie, or added to yogurt with a pinch of cinnamon will give you a breakfast that is both gentle and effective in calming your joints after a long night. This is known as the morning spoon method, a habit that is easy to maintain but can create noticeable changes after about 7 to 10 days. That is because, according to the body's natural rhythm, inflammatory molecules in the blood tend to peak in the morning, which is why people with arthritis often feel stiff right after waking up. Starting the day with a spoonful of hemp seeds may help ease that stiffness, stabilize blood sugar, and provide protein to support gentle movement as the day begins. Additionally, hemp seeds contain GLA and magnesium, 2 nutrients that play a critical role in reducing nervous tension and supporting hormonal balance, both of which are vital for those living with chronic pain. So if you could take just one action to begin your journey toward reducing inflammation, let it start with a small spoonful of hemp seeds each morning. The third protein is spirulina, a tiny algae that rescues both joints and mood. If there is one type of food that may not look very appealing at first glance, with its dark green color like sea moss and a slightly fishy taste like seaweed, yet inside holds a powerful blend of nutrients that can ease arthritis and lift your mood in remarkable ways. It is spirulina. Spirulina is a blue-green microalgae that has been used as food since ancient times. But only recently has it drawn deeper attention from scientists because of its biological benefits that go far beyond expectations. In every gram of spirulina, up to 60 to 70% is protein, a rare concentration in the plant world. But the most significant difference is not just in the protein amount. It is in a compound called phycocyanin. This pigment gives spirulina its unique blue-green color and also acts as a strong anti-inflammatory agent that can inhibit COX-2, an enzyme targeted by common pain relievers like ibuprofen. However, spirulina can do this without harming the stomach, without disrupting the liver, and most importantly, without disturbing the balance of gut bacteria. A study published in the journal Inflammation Research in 2002 confirmed that phycocyanin in spirulina helps reduce inflammatory mediators such as TNF-alpha and IL-1B, while also protecting tissue from damage caused by oxidative stress. That is why many people who start supplementing with spirulina notice that not only do their joints feel lighter, but their skin, sleep, and energy levels also improve significantly. Spirulina is also rich in bioavailable iron, B vitamins, and magnesium, all of which support energy production and help maintain nervous system balance during prolonged inflammation. In addition, spirulina helps calm the communication axis between the gut and the immune system, which is a critical factor for people with autoimmune arthritis. Using spirulina is also very simple. If you have never tried it before, start with a microdose method, taking just 1 gram of spirulina per day in powder or tablet form, ideally in the morning with water or a green smoothie. You can mix it with lemon water or cucumber juice to ease the flavor. After 5 to 7 days, if your body responds well, you can increase to 3 grams per day and observe whether your morning stiffness lessens, your sleep deepens, or your mood feels lighter. Spirulina may be small in size, but it is a multifunctional tool. It is a source of protein, an antioxidant, and a natural immune system modulator. And sometimes such a small change is exactly what your body needs the most. Now that you have learned about 3 types of plant-based protein that can reduce joint inflammation and support the immune system naturally, the next step is not about memorizing more facts, but applying this knowledge into your daily rhythm in a steady and simple way. A model called the Joint Recovery Protein Framework is a meal arrangement strategy that helps your body avoid overload while still receiving the essential nutrients needed to heal little by little over time. The 3 principles of this model are consistency over perfection, timing is just as important as content, and the right combinations create powerful synergy. This means that by simply repeating one small action each day, such as eating a meal with lentils, adding a spoonful of hemp seeds to your breakfast, or including 1 gram of spirulina with a glass of water, your body will gradually develop a new chain of positive responses in the joints, gut, and nervous system. In the morning, you can start with a light breakfast, like soft cooked oatmeal sprinkled with 1 spoon of hemp seeds to enhance its anti-inflammatory effect. Add a bit of cinnamon and a few slices of banana or berries for extra fiber. Once you are comfortable, you can add 1 gram of spirulina into a glass of lemon water or a green smoothie. This helps calm inflammatory compounds that tend to peak in the early morning, reducing joint stiffness and morning fatigue. At lunch, choose a dish with lentils, such as red lentil soup with turmeric, leafy greens, and olive oil. Pair it with brown rice or quinoa to boost magnesium and fiber intake. If your meal also includes fermented foods like pickled vegetables, kimchi, or unsweetened yogurt, that is even better. These beneficial bacteria will work together with the fiber in lentils to nourish your gut microbiome, helping to control inflammation from its root. In the afternoon, if you feel tired, instead of drinking coffee or strong tea, try a small dose of spirulina, about 1 to 2 grams, taken with water or blended into a cool smoothie. Combine this with a few gentle stretches or a short walk, and you will notice your joints moving more smoothly without needing painkillers. In the evening, you can return to lentils, this time in a lighter form like a soft red lentil porridge cooked with ginger and vegetables, served with brown rice and a few slices of steamed squash for easy digestion. Before bed, take just 2 minutes to reflect on your body using 3 simple markers: your morning joint stiffness, your energy level throughout the day, and how your digestion felt after meals. Doing this not only helps you understand yourself better, but also turns recovery into a purposeful journey each day. When you eat the right foods at the right times and listen to your body, you are gradually rebuilding your immune system from the ground up and reawakening the healing ability that age has never truly taken away. After understanding how joint inflammation works and how deeply it can affect the entire body, you may now realize that healing does not begin at the hospital. It begins in your own kitchen. The 3 plant-based proteins you have just discovered are not miracle drugs, but they have the power to create lasting changes from within without side effects, without disrupting your gut, and without needing a prescription. Lentils reduce inflammation through polyphenols and nourish beneficial gut bacteria. Hemp seeds provide complete protein and an ideal omega ratio to balance the immune system. Spirulina offers bioavailable iron, B vitamins, and antioxidants that help lighten the joints and brighten the mind. You do not need to change your entire diet or memorize complicated recipes. You only need to start with one small action each day. 1 spoon of hemp seeds in the morning, 1 bowl of lentils at lunch, or 1 gram of spirulina mixed with cool water. Each of these actions is a message to your body that you are returning to the path of healing. If today's message has helped you better understand your own health, please subscribe so you do not miss future insights on nutrition, herbs, and healthy habits after the age of 60. If you are already using one of these 3 proteins or have tried incorporating them into your meals, please share your experience in the comments, because from what you share, someone else may find the path to ease their pain. Are you ready to start changing your mornings?